to introduce our Rawlings Coach of the Year. This coach, this has got a great, when you look at the coaches who have won this award, it's like looking at a who's who of coaches. Not only those who have made their career and impact in the Valley, but they've gone on to other schools and other leagues and done so, including a past recipient who currently is #1 in the country with an undefeated team. This year's Rawlings Coach of the Year, and there were incredible candidates. As I said before, I'll take these guys anywhere, any place, anywhere to play anybody. They have no equal, in my opinion, in the country. But this year, our coach, the best of the best, if you will, had a tough task. He's considered a player's coach, but he had to really go through a transformation process, more than maybe people realized, because to make his own imprint into a program was tough to do as a first-year head coach. When you look at his numbers, now it depends how things go this weekend and in the postseason. Bill Hodges has our all-time record, 33 wins at Indiana State with a guy named Bird in his first year. Now, Chris didn't have Bird, but he's got DB, okay? So, not bad. But he's at 25 and moving up. He'll have a chance, Chris will, to possibly be the second winningest coach in Valley history in his first year. He has done a remarkable job this year setting in the big chair, leading his team. And I think we also need to applaud Paul Kowalczyk. Paul, you're doing pretty well, man. You're pulling aces out of the deck. Because it is with great pride to introduce a former player at Southern Illinois, a man who's won the Arch Madness title. That's the next thing for the Salukis. They've not won it since '95, but this man did it twice, and led his team to the NCAA tournament as a player and will lead his team to the NCAA tournament as a coach. The 2005 Rawlings Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year from Southern Illinois, Chris Lowery.
Wow. First, I want to thank Paul, obviously, for giving me this opportunity, to be a young head coach, and to be in this family that we were in, that Coach Weber started. And people, I got to tell you, when Coach Weber started, people always ask me what I take with him the most, with me. And the thing I take with me the most is that Coach Weber said, always be the last one on the bus, so if your best player is late, you'll be later than he is. So that's what I take with him. With me, but also, I just want to thank my wife. Will you stand up, please? My wife, Erica. We've gone through a lot of stuff with our family in the past 2 years. With one of my youngest sons, who's a special needs child, and we spent more time in St. Louis probably than we'd like at St. Louis Children and the Ron McDonald House, but. She's a very special person, obviously my rock throughout my whole career, and I really appreciate her. I also want to thank our administration, Chancellor Wendler, a couple of guys who were my mentors when I played, Dr. Bartle and Dr. Breisner in the back, still mentoring our young men today, which is very important for the future of our program. But I think, looking back, as a kid, being able to be here as a head coach at 32 years old, being the first African-American head coach at Southern Illinois University's history, and at the age of 32 years old, I think those are some huge hurdles. And with guys like Darren Brooks and Tony Young, Stetson Harrison, our guys like that have made that transition so much more easier. And I truly do appreciate our players. And like Mitch said, it was very hard for me to make the transition. From, I was their guy, I was their buddy, I was, a guy who recruited most of them, and so now to make the transition, it was very tough, and probably the guy who took it the toughest was Stetson Harrison, because, when we went to Illinois, D. Brown would get mad because he'd ask my son every day, who's your favorite player, and he would say Stetson Harrison. So, he said, one day you're going to tell me I'm your favorite player, but it never happened. He was very, very loyal to Stetson, so. But once again, I just want to thank you. And any chance you get to be voted by your peers as something as high as Coach of the Year, you're always very thankful. And once again, thank you.
DB, I know you're tough, but Erica, she was at bed rest with that little one for 4 months or so, and I know you're tough, buddy, but you're still second in line on toughness, I think, on